essence. Extraterrestrial presence, feel me like 9/11. Yeah, I'm cutting records and I'm cutting chords. Lord, I'm like Picasso on the drawing board. Bored from all the styles that you be kicking to. For sure, I'm the one you need to listen to. F what you've been through, this complex, not simple. They open like surgery, not past my utensils. Manifested in the physical, feeling invisible. Spit something and move the crowd, yeah, it's like a ritual. And don't be asking what I'm into, cause really what I'm finna do is about to get rid of you. Manifested in the physical, feeling invisible. Spit something and move the crowd, it's like a ritual. And don't be asking what I'm into, cause really what I'm finna do is about to get rid of you. Damn, you gotta flow so hard, gotta go so hard, and they all left scar. Damn, you gotta drop so heavy, giving props what they tell me ain't none of them ready. Damn, you ain't heard nothing like this. Gasoline, what I spit, this is dope as a kid. Damn, from the stars with the back of the bars, think it's a game if you want, I ain't playing it all. A 9 to 5, cause I'm trying to live a life. House looking stupid, thick neck on ice. Semi stupid if you want, you gon' have to pay the price. I've been talking to the moon and stars up all night. The richest man never went to college with knowledge, polish. You can get anything for a couple of dollars. Logic in the process of making profits. Progress, make a non-stick look psychotic. What's poppin'? I illustrate different ways that resemble fate. Let me demonstrate what my pen to make. What I'm in tune with, eternal like the figure 8. What's great, it's really fake. The universe never made mistakes up to this present day. You sleep, but I lie awake. I'm out here grinding like bad breaks, running shit like fast breaks. My word was I'm with God, so fuck what a nigga say. Damn, you gotta flow so hard, gotta go so hard, and they all left scar. Damn, you gotta drop so heavy, giving props what they tell me ain't none of them ready. Damn, you ain't heard nothing like this. Gasoline, what I spit, this is dope as a kid. Damn, from the stars with the back of the bars, think it's a game if you want, I ain't playing it all.
Bring that back. I don't think my damn volume was up. I think that's why my last
You know.
record no volume.
Really, you know. The essence, just here to bless your asses. Extraterrestrial presence, feel me like 9/11. Yeah, I'm cutting records and I'm cutting chords. Lord, I'm like Picasso on the drawing board. Bored from all the styles that you be kicking to. For sure, I'm the one you need to listen to. F what you've been through, this complex, not simple. They open like surgery, not past my utensils. Manifested in the physical, feeling invisible. Spit something and move the crowd, yeah, it's like a ritual. And don't be asking what I'm into, cause really what I'm finna do is about to get rid of you. Manifested in the physical, feeling invisible. Spit something and move the crowd, it's like a ritual. And don't be asking what I'm into, cause really what I'm finna do is about to get rid of you. Damn, you gotta flow so hard, gotta go so hard, and they all left scar. Damn, you gotta drop so heavy, giving props what they tell me ain't none of them ready. Damn, you ain't heard nothing like this. Gasoline, what I spit, this is dope as a kid. Damn, from the stars with the back of the bars, think it's a game if you want, I ain't playing it all. A 9 to 5, cause I'm trying to live a life. House looking stupid, thick neck on ice. Semi stupid if you want, you gon' have to pay the price. I've been talking to the moon and stars up all night. The richest man never went to college with knowledge, polish. You can get anything for a couple of dollars. Logic in the process of making profits. Progress, make a non-stick look psychotic. What's poppin'? I illustrate different ways that resemble fate. Let me demonstrate what my pen to make. What I'm in tune with, eternal like the figure 8. What's great, it's really fake. The universe never made mistakes up to this present day. You sleep, but I lie awake. I'm out here grinding like bad breaks, running shit like fast breaks. My word was I'm with God, so fuck what a nigga say. Damn, you gotta flow so hard, gotta go so hard, and they all left scar. Damn, you gotta drop so heavy, giving props what they tell me ain't none of them ready. Damn, you ain't heard nothing like this. Gasoline, what I spit, this is dope as a kid. Damn, from the stars with the back of the bars, think it's a game if you want, I ain't playing it all.
Alright, what's up, family? How y'all doing today out there? I dropped through, on my birthday, I tried to go live, and, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, I tried to go live, and, had some technical difficulties. The sound ain't come in. So, you know, I want to come through today and holler at my people. You know, birthday I tried to go live, and yeah, I want to come through and holler at my peoples, you know, and just, you know, just speak about some things that's on my mind. Try to inspire, if I can, inspire others to read, to learn, to research, you know. I have to hit him like that. I'm gonna hit him like that. Try and get this angle cool. You know, to research, to study, to learn, you know, and, you know, try to get people to open their eyes up and to become aware of what's going on right now. You know, because for the past 6 years of my life, which I probably do talk about a lot, is that I began to wake up and began to realize certain things through information, through books, through lectures, and just really being really hungry for information, being really hungry for knowledge, being really hungry to learn, you know, to learn, you know, true history, especially as it pertains to African history, you know, gaining knowledge of self, you know, just becoming aware, you know, of things that it's not really talked about, you know, amongst our people today. You know, I always express that a lot of things that our people are going through, or people in general, is because lack of information. You know, just really not getting the information. You know, a perfect example is diet. You know, for a long time, people eat a certain diet without any awareness of the fact of, you know, the unhealthy toll that it's taking on their body. You know, they just eat a certain way because they pretty much was, you know, taught to eat that way. You know, we live our life a certain way because it's, you know, it's the life that it was paid for us to live, you know. So we kind of have to begin to, you know, understand what's being faced of us at this point in time, and begin to, you know, get the information, you know, out, and try to do better as a people, and to make good things happen for ourselves in our communities, or where we live, you know. So, you know, I just like to talk about that, you know. You know, reading books, you know, being in tune with conscious information, and watching lectures, and, you know, first of all, you know, where I'm located, there's not there's not a conscious circuit. You know, it's not a conscious circuit. So I would have to travel, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But in order for me to, you know, rub shoulders with people that actually think and see the way that I do, I would have to travel. You know, I don't come across people. I do got a few homeboys that I've been to. You know, that's really aware, you know, and really got things together upstairs, you know, as far as in their head. But you know, it's you know, living an everyday life, you know, it's when you have this information, you kind of like forced to teach, because you know, when you surround yourself with information and you know, study on the norm, and you know, listen to lectures on the norm and things like that, it becomes kind of normal to you until you like till you begin to interact with people, and then that's when you realize, like, oh wow, you know, like people is on something different. You know what I'm saying? People is like on something different than what you on. So you kind of like forced to teach, you know, you kind of forced to teach and to inform people, you know, and sometimes that's crazy, because when I first came into the information, one of the really major things that interested me, because coming up as a Christian and coming up inside of that religion, and then once I came to realize that it's a lot more to learn and know about this religion, and it's so much that's not being said or talked about in this religion. So when I began to learn these things, you know, I was telling any and everybody that I could, you know, like, hey, like, you know, y'all reading out this Bible, y'all don't speak the language, you don't really know, you know, you don't know the language, so you really don't know what the real scriptures say. Like, you just taking somebody else's word for it, you know. History is telling a different story, you know, than what's really being said inside of this book. You know, this information has been copied and changed, and you know, it's all of this history that's there, that if a person wants to look at this information, they can clearly see that this religion is nothing more than a you know, a mythological story, you know, allegory, you know. And I also talked about before how it was only up to a certain point with the Romans, when they really enforced the issue on making Jesus a physical person, because before, I believe he was a spiritual being. Y'all can look into that though more. So you know, as being of African descent, you know, living in America, you know and understand that that we've you know, been kidnapped or our ancestors was kidnapped and brought here against their will, or tricked here against their will, forced into horrible conditions, mistreated beyond imaginable, and robbed and stripped of everything that we knew about ourselves and about our history and about our culture. So I think that's really important to know and understand, because once you understand that, I think it'll be easier for a person to understand, how and why a belief system is forced upon them, or how and why, their family members, or, how they found themselves in this position with this belief system. Now, I have to ask, people out there of African descent, how could you how could you continue to have a belief system that was forced upon you by oppressors and robbed you from everything that you was, took everything that you had from you, took all the wealth that you previously had, took your family, took your humanity, took everything away from you, and pretty much in a roundabout way gave you a reformulated, suited to their lifestyle and their point of view of the creator of all things, and and all of this, and give it back to you. I don't understand why it's so. How could it be so hard to get that? All people have their own religion. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. But for the African man and woman, you have to ask yourself, why don't you have your own religion? Why don't you have your own belief system? Why isn't the area where you come from, why isn't this deemed holy land? Why is supposedly Africans cursed in the Bible? Why is Egypt looked at as evil people? Why is these things in the story? Why are why are Asiatics considered to be God's people? So it's a really tough situation. A lot of people is not gonna be aware of the truth of their belief systems, and and a lot of people is not going to come out of it and make it out of it. Why is it that true African religion or true African belief or true African spirituality, why is this considered evil? Why is this considered devil worship? How is it that these people was just worshiping the devil, and how they see God and the universe? How is this evil? And it's like, people of African descent has been so oppressed that it's impossible for them to be themselves at this point. As I said before, everything was taken away from them. But I want to talk about this more. I gotta make a run, so I think I'm gonna get off real quick and I'm gonna come back on here. I don't even think nobody in the building, for real. But if anybody see this at a later date, that's fine too. If anybody have any questions or have anything that they would like me to speak about, or want to know my opinion on, or what I think about anything or any type of information or anything like that, please let me know. I don't mind. If anybody want to get in contact with me, you can contact me at Grandmaster Sia, SIA, at gmail.com. Grandmaster Sia at gmail.com. And I'm gonna make this quick run real quick, and I'm gonna jump back on here.